All right. So I was one of his social club, and I put it on because we have at least one and a half Cubans in the on the show today. Uh,
I'm only the half.
uh, my guest Ariane Fernandez, and who is a professor in the fine arts area, and our college lab technician Christine Eng, both of the humanities department's fine arts program, and they're here to discuss the fine arts students' participation in the recent faculty council fundraiser at the December closing sessions, which we had in the EH room. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were both Ariane and I were talking about what music to play today, and it was a psychic thing. Uh, I'm guessing you listen to it a lot, but I was actually, I don't know why I thought of it, and then I realized yesterday, a couple of days ago, this a very important person in my Cuban community down in Miami died.
Oh,
Yeah, a woman named Carmen de la, no, I mean, excuse me, Maria del Carmen Alonso,
mhm.
who we used to affectionately call La Gallega, which, people
Yeah.
Spanish, you want to explain what when you call somebody a Gallega, what that means?
Well, they usually are descent from Spanish from Galicia, right? Is that because my family
Exactly.
is like my grandfather's side.
Yeah,
So
they're
yeah.
Celts.
Mhm.
They're up on the top northwest corner,
Yeah.
right across from the British Isles, and they're blondes.
Yeah.
And so they used to call her La Gallega. She was the wife of my father's conductor. My father would drive the bus in Cuba on his route, and his friend Epinita, they used to call him, Jose Alonso was his name, and he would collect the money, and they were in the union together. And years after they had been exiled from Cuba, he was still collecting dues for the union. He would collect
Really?
dues. Yes, he would collect dues from guys in there was this million-man union in Cuba called the CTC,
Hmm.
and still collecting dues, man. They were always, next year Havana, next year we get rid of Castro, and it never happened. But
I know.
they're all now they're all in a crypt in Hialeah, and I go down there and visit and see, their kids, and we commiserate about what it was like being the children of exiles.
Hmm.
And
I
yeah, let's talk about you guys in LaGuardia. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves? Tell us about your backgrounds and studies before, and but I know you're both alumni at LaGuardia.
yes we are.
So the LaGuardia story will start quickly. So
Do you want
let's
to
go first.
take
Yeah.
over, Chris?
Oh, okay. Sure. I'll take over. Where do I start?
By the way, I'm going to be eating banana chips through the whole show.
That's fine.
As an
Just
ode
go right
to
ahead.
Cuba. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's
Go ahead.
this is the host. This is the host where I come from.
um,
Catholics in the audience.
Mhm.
where should I start? Okay, so I was born in the Bronx. No, I'm just kidding. So,
That's
so I
fine.
I started. Well, starting LaGuardia, I started off as a trying going into nursing, and I started off trying to get into nursing, and I did one of the labs where they opened up one of the bodies, the little piggies, and I
Oh
almost
God.
kind of didn't make it through, right? So I decided to
Right.
change my major into liberal arts, and then I was just gonna graduate and try to work for like a regular company. That was like my mindset of just trying to live, just to live, right? And then I've
Uh-huh.
taken introduction to art class, and I kind of fell into the rabbit hole of becoming a fine arts major after for my second degree here at LaGuardia. So
Who was your intro to art teacher?
Me.
Of course. Yeah.
yeah, but I've
'Cause
always
if you had
kind of
been mine,
dabbled.
you would have left.
No, I don't think so. I do not think so. No.
I,
Okay.
yeah, I kind of well, you know what it is? It's one of those things where you always push like a side dream. Like I've always loved art, even in high school. But a lot of people, a lot of spectators will always say like it's not a successful field. You can't do anything with it. And but now I feel like there's so many different options, and people just learn more about it. And that's why I came back here. Now I'm a college technician as well as helping specifically for the fine arts department. So yeah,
And then
All
you will
right.
go on to
more things.
more
That's
things.
that. I'm not
Yeah, I
gonna
was
say
gonna
it.
say,
Yet.
have you transferred yet anywhere?
I have not transferred yet. I'm actually trying to build more of my portfolio right now, and
Sure.
my concentration right now is printmaking. So
Wow, that's
Yeah.
good. You have a press.
Yes, we do. Yeah, but I wanted to incorporate, my cultural background more and kind of bring it out more since I'm Cambodian, by the way. I guess I should mention that. So,
Sure.
yeah, I don't know what else to
Yeah.
say.
I guess did your parents come to the United States in the 70s or something?
Yes, they came after as refugees from the Khmer Rouge. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That's a big. Have you ever seen Swimming to Cambodia, the
I
Spalding
can't
Gray
watch
film?
it. I can't
Yeah,
watch.
I don't. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's pretty. I guess it would be rough. I don't know what we could compare that to,
Mm,
as far as watching some sort of, Cuban thing. But
Yeah,
anyhow,
yeah,
totally
anyhow.
different.
yeah.
All right. How about you, Aaron? You want to talk a little bit
Yeah,
about your background?
sure. I came to LaGuardia to actually just take a class. I was supposed to go to Queens College, and I missed the deadline. And I came in, and we have a very different academic calendar year. So I came in to take a class, and I stayed. The art department, became my home in a way. And then I graduated and went on to QC. I did double major in fine arts and art history, which I never thought I would be teaching.
Right.
And then I came back and worked for the Office of Students with Disabilities before I started being an adjunct. And now I've been teaching for 15 years.
And
And I teach, all different types of art history and the newest edition, Latin American art history. Uh,
which we have we gotten that to run yet?
Yes, it's the third semester that is running, and I'm very excited to tell you that
Oh, you're kidding?
it is a
Really?
full house. I have 24 students, Hugo.
Oh my God. Well, so we got to talk because I didn't realize that.
Yes.
And I was telling Anna Maria that we could never get it to run, and we need to start collecting what you call it for assessment. We need to start
Tell me what you
collecting
need because I have a lot of things, and also
artifacts.
we're
Wow.
doing a coil project with Egypt for the spring.
Oh man.
So I'm super
Very good.
excited. It's going to be really good, and I'm just excited. And it's a great class because one of the things that excites me about that course is that students come in to learn about their own culture.
Right.
Which is amazing.
Which what I think LaGuardia, where are we at now? 48% Hispanic.
Yes, a little bit. I think, yeah, around there. Yeah. So I'm super
Latinx.
excited. And as you know, LaGuardia has become my home.
Yeah. Who was your first teacher at LaGuardia? Do you remember?
Bruce Brooks, who's like a dad.
That's what I was going to guess. Of course.
Yeah, he took me under his wing and he pushed me to teach because I was not going to teach. I was just, if you would have met me, I was like super shy. You would have never thought that I was going to be talking to people. And now I can't shut up about what I'm teaching.
Yeah, I was going to say, once you get going, man, the emails, the text messages never stop. But yeah, Bruce, he's the patron saint of the program.
He built this, he did it.
Yeah, he built both photo and both photo and fine art. And interestingly enough, I may be taking over the photo program in July.
Congratulations.
Well, it's to be seen, but I was talking to him about being on my advisory board. And he was saying, like he was telling me, and I said, "Well, you'll be my deep throat then." He said, "I'll talk to you about," and he'll be my deep whatever. He always he was hilarious because you would go see him and he would tell you something and you would like run with it.
Yeah.
And all of it. I started the study abroad program way back when because he and Michael were like talking and said like, "Wow, wouldn't it be great to have a study abroad program?" And they looked at me and they said, "Hey, Hugo, start a study abroad program." And I said, "Okay."
Yeah,
and that was it.
Definitely that. Yeah. One thing I admired about, and I still admire about Bruce, is that he was just so incredible with his time and his advice, and he pushed you. He believes in people more than they sometimes believe in themselves, and he's just such a well-rounded artist and educator. And
yeah, well, he's the only, except for you, he's the only guy I know. Well, no, actually, not even you, because he's one of the only people I know that had a studio degree, an MFA, and also had a master's in education.
Yeah.
So when it came to teaching art, he was coming from it from a very knowledgeable perspective.
And I think it was already like a little bit, we use that term like avant-garde in the way that he was thinking about education and art.
Right.
In a very different way that we've seen things now that he already thought, before these things were established. So those of us who met him and were his students and worked with him were very, very blessed, I think.
He was an innovator.
He was definitely an innovator. So.
Yeah, and he was like insane.
Yes.
Probably his most famous moment was when he tore up the what was it, the personnel manual in in
What?
President Mello's office.
I heard of
And you know,
this.
he was right, because that we found out later that that thing had been written by somebody in HR without any feedback from a lot of the different folks,
Yeah.
you know.
He was,
And
yeah, he was special.
anyhow,
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
rock star.
yeah,
Artless
totally.
stuff. Yeah.
So let's talk about the program and the roles that you two play there. Um, so go back to Christine.
Yes.
Like you're a college lab technician. So what does that entail?
Well, I help facilitate or help out any of the professors if they kind of need any of my help, as well as I help with e-portfolio, make sure students are doing the assessments correctly, like Dropbox, as well as help kind of be the bridge from student to professor, because I feel like seeing me or talking to me is sometimes either easier than to talk to the professor. So it's kind of like I'm kind of
Yeah,
multifaceted in that way. I'm kind of just placed
that's
here.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always had this notion of having somebody like you sit in the computer lab all day, and everybody would come in there, and you would help them,
Hmm.
build their portfolios over time.
She
Because
did.
most of the time they only do their portfolios one at in first year seminar
Hmm.
and in the capstone,
And that is it.
and even yeah, and then they don't even do it in the capstone as much as we'd like.
Hmm.
So, but if
Yeah.
they could do it the whole time over time, I think it'd make for much better portfolios.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you also work with the gallery.
Oh
You
yes. I'm
supervise.
sorry. That totally like flew past my head. I help. Like how would I even say it? I help out with the galleries like,
Various
Dina
capacities.
in various
Pizzarello.
capacities. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Pizzarello.
So she's also with the interns as well. So
Yeah.
we both end up doing some sort of supervising as well. It falls in the
Yeah,
role of mentorship.
yeah, it's kind of hilarious because when people come and visit the place, that's what they respond to the fact that our walls are covered in student work and
Okay.
art, period.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And you go to some of these other campuses, and they're so antiseptic. I mean, they have their locations where they'll call them their art galleries and stuff,
Right.
but nothing like we do at LaGuardia. And then people don't realize to maintain something like that takes a lot of hours.
It
You know?
does.
Hmm.
After hours,
Oh yeah.
Right.
weekend hours.
Mhm.
Because
Dina, yeah,
yeah, and I know because we've helped set up exhibits as well with the weekends. So we're here. I mean, you know that, Hugo. We help out with everything.
I live upstairs. They just don't know. I live on the roof. I just camp
Oh, yeah?
up there. Yeah, just casual.
I think Shahir would know.
He would know.
He's on top of everything and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
How is the program doing? I mean, a lot of people don't realize this, that fine arts is the largest program in
Mhm.
humanities, which is one of the largest departments in the Division of Academic Affairs. I think there's over 300 students in
We
fine art.
and
Right?
we just have 15 new freshmen. They were
50,
15,
50.
15, 15, 15 new
Oh,
freshmen,
50,
and we have 20 new transfers. That
35.
actually
Yeah,
changed their major actually this semester.
Mhm.
So
so people, yeah.
yeah.
How is that compared to years past?
Actually, for us, for our department, remember, because I'm the advising liaison, so I see them. I'm the person they're sent to most of the time,
Right.
right? And so if I don't know the student, we have a problem because I know almost all of them. We've done pretty consistent. It's been pretty consistent for us. We always get new students. I think, in fact, during the pandemic, we got more students that changed their major to fine arts.
Really?
After taking like an
Yeah.
intro class, taking like an art history class. I think that was the
Really?
push to change that.
That's what I didn't realize.
Yeah, I was surprised too, and then I realized when I saw the change of major forms flowing in into the mailbox.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
When you get freshmen,
Mm-hmm.
how do you find out about them? Are they basically handled by advisement, or is there some way that you become aware that there's somebody who needs? Because for example, one of the things I've been doing
Mm-hmm.
is I've been on the phones calling students in the photo major,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you come out, when you've got a freshman, because they haven't signed up for the semester,
Mhm.
and they're group wise, is, or not the group wise, their degree works
Right.
is basically just either transfers or nothing,
Right.
just like pre-testing and things like that. And I've been calling those people to say, like, is anybody talking to you? Is anybody, I should probably do that this afternoon, call another 10 of them. But it's this thing where, do you reach out to them, or how does it work?
I get the notice, the notification, because I see the Arthur emails me the change of major, or
Oh, right.
we get contacted
That's right.
we get contacted through, like, for example, ASAP. They need to be in the FYS, the freshman seminar class. Can they be overtallied? They're brand new, and then you go into the system and they only have one class. Nobody has reached out, so I'm like, I email them,
Of
set up an
course, yeah.
appointment, and then I'm like, let me help you, and we pick the classes right there and there. So
And use the degree map.
yeah.
So, and I guess the question. So the program is healthy.
Yes. And I just see it growing. So,
Yeah.
with new opportunities.
So you want to talk about how I suckered you into working with the faculty council? And, I mean, the joke is it's not that this. In fact, it goes back to Bruce Brooks again. So all roads lead to Brooks.
Exactly,
But,
because he
we're not
wrote
talking
me
about
in.
the bar. We're not talking about the bar in Long Island City over the bridge. We're
No,
talking about
he
Bruce.
wrote me in the first time, because remember the faculty council, it's been for a number of years, and a couple of years before the pandemic, right? We used to kind of we used to participate, and then we stopped. So,
Right.
but
Well,
yes.
I think what happened, it was kind of interesting because Bruce used to always, even all the faculty used to donate too, and then we used to say, like, hey, why aren't there any scholarships for our students?
Mhm.
And I mean, the truth is there always were, because all scholarships through the faculty council are scholarships which almost any student can apply for. It doesn't matter on the major.
Right, of
But there
course.
was nothing that was earmarked for students based on art as an interest.
Yes.
And that's something that hopefully we're going to change this semester. Sarada Rausch, who is now the humanities department faculty council rep, is going to try to make that happen. Try to create like a new, whatever it's called, scholarship, so that people can. But again, it'll be open to all students. But,
right.
But from a perspective of fine arts as a discipline.
So,
But yeah, so historically used to, Scott used to donate pictures. Bruce would donate art. I mean, I think Michael Rodriguez.
right.
Peter Katopis actually bought one of my photographs years ago.
And I used to be the one to bring in, organized student work.
Right.
And then we stopped. Right. So it was already second nature when you're like, let's do it.
Well, go ahead.
But I think that what we're gonna, I've heard great things about the student work. In fact, if we walk down towards the science department, there are a couple of pieces that were bought.
Really?
Yeah, being displayed, and the artists pass by and they're like,
man.
my piece is there. So it's really
Have
great.
they gotten their money yet, though? Because we were supposed to split 50-50, right?
Okay, so Tara contacted me last week, and
Right.
they're finalizing a few things, and I sent her the original list of prices and to make sure they coincide. But we did pretty well. We did really well. I don't want to say the number yet because she's still adjusting it.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited. So I mean,
I was hawking pretty hard there. I was, trying to get. One of the things I learned is I need like some sort of like soapbox to stand on top of, because even though people hear you, if they don't see you,
they don't pay attention.
They don't know who's talking. They don't know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. It's just it's background noise, Yeah.
I need like a dais, somewhere where I'm higher than them, but I can also walk up in front of the art and say, like, buy this one, buy that one. Interestingly enough, one of the people that was also helping was the president.
I love that.
He was running around like threatening to outbid people.
Well, I know some bidding wars between friends of ours. We're like texting, I want this, and I'm gonna bid. Right. So I'm like, whoever puts more money, come on, do it. And it was great. I'm so excited, and this is going to set a precedent. So now we can organize even, more different media. I'm excited.
Right.
I'm super excited.
More students. It's interesting because, and maybe I don't even know if I told you this, but earlier on in the year, I kept getting approached by Teresa Lidve Sardu
Mm-hmm.
out of IT,
Mm-hmm.
who would say to me like, "Oh, people are always talking about the student work, and they say they'd like to buy it, and can you create a situation where we can buy it?" And so when we were going back and forth about the fundraiser, and they were going to be, usually they sell most of the money in the Christmas auction, or the whatever you call it, the holiday auction. It
Mm-hmm.
usually historically was made from the poinsettias,
Mm-hmm. I remember
and
that.
they probably still have made more
Yeah.
money this year with
Yeah.
poinsettia
Yeah.
sales.
Yeah.
But that's when I said, like, well, what about art? You think what would happen if we? And of course, then I called you.
It's a great response. I'm so excited because
So
we.
tell me. Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
go ahead.
Tell me. No, tell me. What do you
No, I was
want?
gonna say, tell me about how you organized it. The two of you.
We contacted a couple of students, and we had a couple of works that were like one or two works that were donated,
Mm-hmm.
but everything else was current student work. They came in
Right.
and submitted, and we said, "Hey, will you be okay donating a piece for the auction?" And they're like, "Hey, if it's to help any student in the fine arts or any student to get a little money, we'll do it." And they did it. That's the thing about our students, right? And especially our department, and you know this, and I'm sure photo is like that as well. I can only reference our departments because we know each other, we work with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But we are like a family. We know our students very well. We kind of mentor them, and so they are so talented and just incredible, incredible people, you know. And I just think we're just really blessed. In this semester we have with really good interns. You know, anything you want to, Professor Ari, anything you want. What can we do? How can we make this better?
I think they're more eager.
Yes.
Like there's a sense of wanting to do more and to participate. I think that's where it's like the passion.
And I think the pandemic, as you know, changed everything so much. So now coming back to the campus and taking classes in person, it's created this environment of collaboration, of community. It's really something special. So.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because one of the things that preceded the event was this thing we put together with College Now, where we invited high school students to visit the college, and we called it, I don't know what we called it, Around Humanities in 90 Minutes or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. It was actually Sherry Carr, Dr. Sherry Carr, who runs the philosophy area, who finally came up with this idea where, classically when College Now comes to the college, what we do with them is we put them in E242. We show them slideshows of everything, and it's impossible to keep 200 students
engaged.
Attention. Right. Yeah. So we had this notion, like, let's take them around to all the studios in humanities, and show them, what they would have access to if they were students here.
Yeah.
And the two of you put together quite a nice little couple of situations in the various labs. You want to talk about that?
Go ahead, Christine, because I threw you in there. I'm like, you're gonna do it.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah, exactly.
Threw me in the lion's cage.
We put it together, and I'm like, you're gonna present this, and she's like, no.
I definitely did not want to be the one presenting, but I think for me it was something fun. It was something it was like my own. The way I thought about it was thinking about it if this was a gallery show, but a fun gallery show, and then it'd be more interactive for future students to see, like, all the rooms and artworks that actually came from the rooms itself, like different pieces throughout the years that we've had in archive. Most of them were current students. Like, for example, I'll just use one example, the drawing studio. All those drawings were from current students. You know what I mean? Like, it's and then giving them the ambiance of the gallery. I added different music, so then they're, I guess, more stimulated and more excited to come into the college that way.
As I like to say, with the right lighting and the right music, anybody's interested.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And also to make it personable, to make it approachable, right? Because there's something that I keep hearing all the time. Like when a lot of students transfer from other schools, they're like, "You guys are so not like you." They feel that heard and seen. I don't know, like when we sit down with them and explain to them the courses and come and look at the studios, right. And they feel appreciated and they feel important. And I think that's so. We have to, that's the LaGuardia community, where you make the students feel this is their home, and especially for our fine arts students,
It's a cool deal.
But it's also home because they used the studios here. So many do not have spaces, and after the pandemic,
Right.
they had to share their spaces. I was just talking with a couple of our interns how they just want to stay here longer after their classes because they can
Yeah,
use the studios.
that's our problem, is getting people to move on.
Yeah.
That they want to stay with
Oh,
us.
they don't want to leave.
Yeah, no, they wish we were a 4-year
Yeah,
institution.
they told me that I have like a couple of students that are leaving this semester, and they're like, "Can we come visit?" I'm like, "Of course you can come visit."
Yeah.
Like, of course. He's like,
And it's funny because I'll walk through the fine arts suite a lot of times, and those studios don't, as much as people do utilize them, they could get a lot more utilization. And when I did the tour, I even explained to the students how we bring in models on Wednesday, and some they aren't utilized enough. But I will say that when Christine took us into the design studio where the prints were from the printmaking class, that's when I looked at that and I said, like, we could sell these. And that triggered my thinking. I said, like, wait a minute, we could sell these. Hey, wait a minute, it's 1:29, so I just want to do a quick station break.
Sure.
The show is What's Going On. I'm your host, Hugo Fernandez, here on LaGuardia Web Radio, and I'm with Professor Ariane Fernandez and College Lab Technician Christine Eng of the Humanities Fine Arts Program. We're here discussing the fine arts students and their recent role in the Faculty Council fundraiser at the December closing sessions. One of the things we've done is Christopher Pope, who's in deep background right now here on the show. We've given him a link to a website that the two of you create. I guess Christine created this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that, because we had a notion that people could actually bid online and see stuff, or at least it was a teaser to encourage people to show up. Because again, doing closing sessions on the last day of finals, or whatever day that was, is that was a killer. But we still had one hell of a turnout.
Yeah.
And but anyhow, so Chris is gonna he's gonna put the website up on Twitch, and we're gonna go through some of it. So maybe you guys can give us some feedback. So the first thing that comes up is this birds with berries. You want to talk about that one?
It's
It's a news.
Can you scroll down a little bit?
Oh, you guys are watching on your own thing.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Actually, Chris, if you hit you see that little blue button? Yeah, go. Oh, forget it.
Okay, we can see it. We got it.
All right. So anyhow, scroll back up. See how there's a blue. See how that button turns blue. The button under it. See how it's like it looks like a box. If you click that, it actually makes the images.
Yeah, there you go.
Bam! Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah. This is actually something that Cindy did on her own free time as a study. So let me remember Cindy Garcia. So
one of the students.
One of the students, yeah. So she so in general, the works that are included here are works that were done for classes, and also a couple of them are things that were studies of the students, just having practicing techniques and so forth. So this was just a study. She was interested in using various mediums together for just playing around, and this is what she made. Like, she's incredible. Like, her stuff is so beautiful, and she just keeps getting better and better. She practices. She doesn't. You know how sometimes students go, like, they get the A, they do the class, and they don't keep really honing their skills.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about this as
all
like,
the time.
This was said of me when I was saying, like, you're a really good student, Hugo, but that was like a backhanded compliment, saying, like,
what have you been doing?
Are you prepared to keep doing this when it's not about a grade anymore?
Mm-hmm.
When a faculty member isn't telling you what to make, and encouraging you with the quick feedback of the grade. Let's keep going, Chris. Let's take a look at the next one, or you guys can tell me if you want. As we
just keep moving around so they can get a look. Okay. Did you purchase this one?
Did I purchase one or somebody else did?
No, this one is your name was on the list.
Because I think I purchased this one for Ana Maria Hernandez.
Okay. So
Dr. Ana Maria Hernandez, La Contessa, as we call it.
This work was actually made in my 20th century art history class by our student who graduated, and now she's back in her home, which is Canada. So she was looking at Kandinsky and the other in
Yeah.
design, and she did this piece. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking clay, but I can see the Kandinsky.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was. I knew that it was Kandinsky because she had asked to use, because they had, the idea was to, for that particular assignment, students have to create their own work as a reaction from various artists
Right.
or art movements, and
Yeah.
so this is the one
Cool.
from there. And then you have. Can you go to the next one?
Next, yeah, go to the next one. Keep going, Chris. Should go at a pace of about one a minute, so we get through them all.
So these are just students. This is from intro. So I think we talked about this before. When intro to art, or in the 165, the prehistoric to Gothic, I always
Right.
have them do studio components, and so this is when we finished Egypt. So I bring papyrus, and I have them kind of illustrate a vignette from the Book of the Dead, and this was one of those.
These are so much better than the ones that I got when I tried doing that. But I mean, I don't think I give my people enough time. I call them hands-on activities, since technically there isn't supposed to be a studio component. But
Yeah,
still.
I mean, in all the intros I do, and in the art history, I can't teach art history without studio. I feel that
Yeah, I know.
it allows them to understand the materials better, to get into that mindset of
Right.
the artist, as opposed to just it being facts. I mean, Cindy, again, this was something that again, as a study of color, and she came up with this. Yeah, she was looking
That's
at
beautiful.
Art Nouveau. I think, yeah, Art Nouveau.
Oh yeah.
Muha for this one. And then the other one, I think this one was the black and white. She was looking at Beersley.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming up.
Yeah.
Keep going, Chris. Next one. This one's cool.
Oh, this.
You know,
yeah.
we'll talk about it in a minute, because we're bringing a visiting artist, and Donna Torres, and she's really into botanical art.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that later. But
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
talk about this one.
Isaac Ramos is actually one of our newest students. He was actually a early childhood education major. And we met him because he was working. He came every session. We had art club during the pandemic online, and now, of course, it's in person. And I was like, Isaac, he's from Mexico. And he took like a class when he was there, but he always liked art, but he was never really fully enrolled in it. And I was like, you're so good. What do you want to do? He's like, I want to teach art to children. I'm like, so why are you not taking art? And we stole him from early childhood education. And he's one of his studies. So he has this innate talent. Like some of these things are things that he's just doing as studies. This is not for a class. And so he works in oil, he works in gouache. And now is that he started the semester really learning the vocabulary, really learning theory. So it's going to be interesting because he's starting, backwards. So
next, this one I thought was pretty interesting.
You want to go talk about that one because you know them too.
Oh,
yeah, All right.
Well, this one, in
intro to
intro to art, we introduced a couple studio components, right?
Yeah.
So for this one was color and the pointillism techniques, where you create the image using dots. I forgot the artist's name.
Surratt.
Yes.
I was such a. You can't believe you forgot that.
I should remember it, honestly.
Well, we just know it because we've been teaching the class for 15 years.
I know. But I teased her because she took art history with me. She should know.
That's. I'm not good with names.
I'm teasing you. Not good with names. Go to the next one.
The next one, I think, who's
go. Yeah, go on, Chris. Go to the next one.
Is combining acrylic and charcoal with this one. This was fun. I think this is from another student. I don't remember.
This is actually from Dina's class.
From Dina's class?
This student is Dina's class, yeah.
Yeah, Dina Pizzarella, who we've already spoken about, is our gallerist. Yeah. But she's also known to be the toughest drawing teacher, east of the Rockies.
Yeah, the toughest studio.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Manifestly.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody at Caltech or Cal Arts that teaches art worth a damn. So.
Yeah. And then
this is the Beardsley one.
Yeah.
I like this one. I was going to bid on this one, I think.
So what happened? Because I know who bought it. You should
I
have.
don't know.
No, I know. It was a beautiful
It's
piece.
just, yeah, it reminds me of something I would have like had on my wall in the '70s when I lived in Miami.
Really?
Oh.
I love
Very different Hugo. Yeah, very different Hugo.
it. I don't know. But
It's good.
again, just studies. I think it's
Yeah.
also really important, and we suggest this to the students all the time. Look at other artists, reinterpret themes or make it your own, and sometimes it's a way also to get out of your comfort zone. You know how it is. We like a medium, and we just want to
Right.
stay there because it's our safety net, but then you don't grow as an artist. And one of the cool things about being in this program, this is a 2-year program, is this a time when you really start learning new techniques and manipulating new media, and getting out of your
Right.
comfort zone, so that when you transition to the 4-year, you had a little bit more of that kind of pace. So any where's the other? I can't. I'll be so sorry.
Oh, so the
Let's
next
keep
one
going.
would be
Yeah, let's go.
yeah,
Let's keep going, Chris.
it's Isaac.
Isaac as well. Yeah.
This is
This
before
is out
classes. Yeah.
Yeah. That one
that-
that he did. It was
It's like
just a
Mapuche
study.
Rockstar or something. Yeah.
That was just a study.
You're
that
going
was-
too fast now, Chris. What's going on?
He's like,
He can't go. He's got to go back.
yeah.
We missed one.
right there. It's
So-
a study. So
Yeah.
again, he loves. When you come to the department, when you're here, I'll show you. I have his sketchbooks. They're just incredible. The way
Yeah,
that he
you should
draws
see-
people.
Yeah, I know. I found a sketchbook from a previous class where I had a student. We're still in touch with her. I think she's gone into gallery stuff. But so amazing when you get somebody who really uses a sketchbook for what it's supposed to be. Just
It
fills
is
the thing.
beautiful. It is one of the best sketchbooks that I've seen in a
Yeah.
while. Because I tell students, use your sketchbook not just for those little assignments that people that you get in your stuff. This is where you have to. I mean, one of the best things I think as an art historian, when I'm talking about artists, I tend to pull images from this to artist sketchbook so they can see how the artist is thinking
Right.
through, and it's just
Yeah.
beautiful. Like, utilize that. That's where you develop this type of method of painting or drawing, and he's just
Right.
his stuff is so beautiful, and he has so many different. Because isn't that particular period where he's like learning everything and he wants to match all the styles? It's just
Right.
a really beautiful thing to see. So I'll show you when you come pass by through the park.
Next. Gotta keep going. We'll never get through them.
Yeah.
Study. That was a study for
Yeah.
life drawing. Dina's.
It was Dina's
It was
class.
Dina's
I saw
class.
this student.
Yeah.
Pam. I think that was
Yeah.
her name.
I remember her.
And oh man, it was fun. I think that, like, honestly, going through it, the learning, it was beginning painting. And Dina, like,
I remember
oh my
that
God.
class. That was
I mean,
that
it's
was
one-
yeah.
It's one of the things about the way we're doing this is that the computer has a way of kind of normalizing everything. Like, we're seeing everything at the same scale,
right.
and we don't know. Some of these things are bigger or
Yeah,
smaller.
some of these are big. Like the Cindy's
all
ones are
flat.
tiny, right?
Yeah,
8
they're
by
flat.
yeah.
Depending on how they were photographed, the quality of the materials may or may not. Of course, texture we can't see at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to photograph that
Right.
too. But these
Oh,
are
yeah.
these are larger pieces. So this and the other one
Yeah.
are 18 by 24. Cindy's were 8 by 10. The one
Yeah.
that
Right.
you purchased, you bid on for Ana Maria was small too. It was like
Yeah.
like 9 by 12,
Mhm.
9 by 10,
Nice.
something like
The
that.
next
Mhm.
piece
Yeah.
is fun. There you go.
Yeah, Chris is showing you how the sizes and prices and materials are
Yeah.
all on there. With this.
This looks like a photograph. It looks like a
Yeah,
photograph.
It's
But this is
great.
color pencil.
It's color pencil.
Nice.
Color pencil.
Yeah, remember Dennis D'Amelio who left us? Dennis was that was his shtick.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of photorealism kind of thing. He has this amazing body of work he did out of the windows of the World Trade Center before it came down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the other?
I think the next one is a dry point.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's by it's Vanessa.
Then oh yes.
Oh, I bought this one. I
You
have it over here.
did?
Where is it?
That's
Somewhere
not on
over
the
here.
list.
It's not. Well, I own it, and I haven't
No.
framed it.
I
I was going to give it to my daughter because my daughter was a big Little Mermaid fan. But for Cubans too, the mermaid
Hmm.
is a big deal because I don't know whether it's like either the Cobre or the Virgen de la Regla. I think the Virgen de la Regla
I
is
think
the
it's
one.
de
But
la regla. I'm not positive.
yeah, the Regla. They're mermaids,
Yeah.
and so the mermaid is a big deal in my family.
So it's in the list, but with the list that Tara sent me, like with the prices, who bought what, I didn't see your name. It was blank. So I'm so happy that it
Oh,
went to
yeah, I
you.
got that. Yeah, I
I'm
went to that. I was gonna
so
give it to my daughter,
happy.
but my daughter said, "No, Dad, you keep it."
It's
I said, "Okay."
I
I
love
gotta
this
frame it.
piece. This is so I just wanted to go back for what you were talking about, the prints in the studio, in the design
Right.
studio. They actually come from from the intro class and from the 20th century art history class, where we do
Cool.
print making and we do dry point as well. So they can, when we talk about printmaking and Schongauer and Durer, we have a studio component. That's where they come from. So.
Right. Let's keep going, Chris.
This one by Cindy, it was just a sketch, and it's actually down the hall. And
I was gonna say I don't even remember it from the show.
it was
It's like
there.
somebody
Yeah.
must have bought it quick and taken it.
They bought it quick, so we're walking by, we see it all the time, and the artist saw it, and she's just like, "Oh, it's there!" Oh, she was so happy, and I think that
Nice. Yeah.
that's why we do that. You know, we have
Right.
I think it's a different one, no?
No, it's not. Yeah. Surface.
Next, Chris. Let's keep going. I want to get through. I don't know how many there are, but I want to get through.
There's a lot.
Yeah, same artist.
may not
Same
get-
artist.
oh.
Same artist. Her obsession with Sherlock.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Sherlock
Must
Holmes.
she a cumber bitch?
Oh my
Cumberbatch?
god.
Yeah, Cumberbatch.
My wife is. So is my daughter. They love that version of. Chris has this look on his face, like, did he really just say that on
He
the
did.
air?
Yeah.
He did.
Is that an FCC violation? I didn't realize.
Oh no.
You
It's not on the 7 dirty words you can't say on television.
It's on the LaGuardia. No, we can't say
Let's keep going.
that. Okay, next one.
You can beep it off the show when the recording.
He's like, more editing. Oh, that's from me.
Cumberbatch.
That is from Christine. Talk about
So that's
it.
old school, and it's interesting because that looks Cambodian.
I wonder why.
But I mean, were you trying to imitate like
So
whatever it is?
The lore or the old tale is Hanuman and the mermaid. She's actually a mermaid. He in our mythology, he gets with a mermaid basically, and that I'm basically displaying the love story between the two. I would go more in depth with it, but I don't remember it all right now. So maybe next time. I'll go more in depth with it. But yeah, so I did this.
We've kind of run.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've run out of time, so but I think Chris can share the link for this when he's as part of the show. Is there any? Oh, we went. Look at that. We went full circle. Well done. We're moving into we're in the last quarter hour of the show. This is usually where we talk about. We either take questions, which we don't have any, or we could talk about the future. So what are you guys thinking about for the future? Besides the fact that we've got another one of these student showcases coming up. I mean, student visits from College Now, possibly
we have to see how we're gonna.
In mid-March?
Yes. It's March. Yeah.
By the way, I didn't tell you this, but
Yes.
the College Now administrators told me that the high school faculty who came to see said the students who came to see the shows, which was from the High School of Information Technology, right over here in Long Island City, they were talking about us, and some of them were saying like, "I want to go to LaGuardia."
Yes, I'm so happy. That makes my heart happy. Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that also came out of that, which was kind of interesting, was the notion that a lot of students want to be multimedia artists. They're not like they want to. I mean, maybe they want to be an art major, but they also want to be able to take like a film class or a new media class, like animate their art, and so I've started in talks with some of the coordinators about how do we go about doing that? Do we have to build a major? Is there a way that a student literally could create their own art program?
Kind of like put in some maybe electives, a little more. Options. Have more control over, for example, electives, right?
Well, it's like the way it works now is that most of these are AS degrees, so people have to take their 30 pathways courses. They're 30 credits, 10 pathway courses, and the other 10 are the major,
right?
With sometimes a free floating elective, but maybe a student could figure out, based on all the offerings within the department, they want to mix it up. I mean, it kind of happens. It already happens interestingly enough, students who come in as photo majors who
Mhm.
say they want to be fine artists end up in the fine art program, and
Right.
so they find themselves taking like beginning drawing or painting,
Mhm.
and they only end up taking 2 photo classes with us at
Mm.
best, maybe
Right.
like history or photo. So there is precedent, and there are people that are interested in it.
Right.
So anyhow,
So
but
for
that's another discussion.
right, but for example, I do like when do advisement and things. I tell students like these are courses that could interest you, and as an artist, you could apply this to this type, right? This media. But I know a lot of students want to take like more new media courses, and that becomes a little difficult to do because of
Well, I
the
mean that's a conversation because I think
yeah.
Jeremy would be willing to. What it comes down to is the coordinators when they hear this, the
Mhm.
biggest concern they have is how is this going to impact their majors? Are
It's
they going to lose
understandable. It's
majors?
understandable. Yeah.
My question is like, would you rather have people in seats or would you rather have majors?
Right.
And some want both.
Yeah.
And
Happy medium. Right.
I think we could. I think that when people realize that we could offer a program that nobody else offers in CUNY or possibly, except I mean SUNY's already started doing this,
Right.
but it could be a draw again.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Anyhow, so what else we got on the future here for the fine arts?
For the visit on the 21st, we got to sit down and think because I believe that day there's going to be a lot of activity in the studios. There's going to be a lot of classes happening at the time frame that we.
Nothing stops us from
No, of course not. We'll figure something.
students to look.
We'll figure something out.
Mhm.
We'll figure something
Yeah,
out.
I mean, if anything, they would love to see
Mm-hmm.
In
people
session.
in action.
Yeah.
I'm gonna contact the professors from the teaching those courses
Mhm.
as soon as possible. I'll give it like
So
another week.
yeah, but I was thinking also in terms of like, so we're going to do the auction again next year.
Yes, we are.
Do we want to
Uh,
start? Are you going to be collecting art throughout the year? Or are you going to wait until December to do and
no,
then collect?
I'm gonna start collecting in June. In June, because I
Yeah.
want things that are more, uh, look more professionally, you know, uh, organized. So it's gonna be. Actually gonna talk to the professors as well and see. And you know me, I know almost every student, so it's gonna be interesting to start. So I envision something with more art and all different media, like I mentioned earlier, and just making something concrete precedent. That we know that there's going to be that our students' incredible talent is going to be showcased, right? And that we're going to get funds for our students, which we so badly need. When it comes to scholarships.
Well, one of the things too is that when we talked about this, when the president saw what we were doing,
Mm-hmm.
he mentioned the fact that there's somebody at the board of trustees level of the foundation level
Mm-hmm.
who had notions of working with Sotheby's to
Really?
have student work auction there
That's
as a kind of a
amazing.
fun as a fundraising vehicle possibly for the LaGuardia Foundation. So that would be
That
kind of interesting.
that would be really great. And then we have to make that. If that's going to be a reality, then we definitely have to sit, maybe do like a little faculty can judge submissions and things like that, or open and see the output of the art that is being, you know, uh,
Well,
showcased. We'll figure it out, but
yeah, I mean,
bigger and better.
obviously these are conversations I've been waiting. When I'm on campus, when I see the president, and when he wants to set this up, he's got a lot on his plate. But it's something to explore because it'd be kind of interesting
It'll be really
to.
great.
I mean, I think the only contact students have historically had with Sotheby's, which is the premier auction house in New York City,
Mm-hmm.
along with Christie's, has been working with Chris Jefferson,
Right.
Kristen Jefferson,
When they
where
did like.
Kristen,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she would take them there to see auctions because she's
Right.
actually a professional kind of curator
Right.
and has a lot of experience in selling art. So that's about the only time I know that they've. So it'd be kind of interesting for them just to go through that whole experience of what it's
Yeah.
like to interact with an auction house.
Exactly. And there's the
selling.
talent there, we have that. And so it'll be really great to see something materialize from that.
We got a few minutes before we're going to play some more music. So what are some things you want to, anything else you want to talk about, or people you want to start thanking?
Uh, Maybe publicize the art club a little more.
Oh no.
No, just kidding.
Do that. You don't want to talk about the art club?
The art club. So the art club is open to any major that wants to come and uh, be part of the community, learn techniques. We still deciding on the dates for the spring semester, but we usually meet Fridays. We meet from 5 to 6:30.
Yeah,
That seems to be the time,
it's hard to kick them
That's
out
interesting.
after.
and it's hard to kick them out. Well,
What do you mean?
they want to stay.
You want to stay and create? We
And
had a
create art.
couple
On a Friday
non-
on a Friday night, they want to hang around the
Because
college.
you know what happens? They are not stressed because usually they don't have classes anymore, and they could just create as opposed
the
to
week.
yes, as opposed to being like, oh, I have this hour and I got to run back to class, and it becomes really great. It's a great environment. So
And that's something that I mean, you don't have to be an art major to be in the art club.
no. It's open to everybody. You know,
we had a couple. What's it? Science kids.
a lot of science students. We had business majors. And then we have like an end of the semester little party where we have them draw and things like that. And we have all these people that were not fine art majors. And they're like, can I do a double major? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and then
You can't do a double major.
No, here. We can't. They can't double major. We're a 2-year school. I'm like, you can double major in a 4-year.
Yeah.
But not here.
Well, people can get a degree and then stick around and get another one.
But that's not the same.
Like you get a second.
Like Christine did.
Like you get a
This is
second
what she
one.
did.
Yeah.
So.
Those are the people that get us in trouble. That's why they created pathways. Because
Exactly.
of all the double majors.
Exactly.
We were transferring people just fine. It's
Yeah.
the double majors that kept.
Yeah. But I mean, it's great. It's a really great environment, and they don't have the pressure. It's not a class. We students can bring materials. We have some materials as well. Depending on, we have a schedule. Sometimes let's do printmaking, or let's do, I just go in and say hello to everybody. I don't want them to feel, because I'm obviously the mentor, I don't want them to feel it's a class. It's not. But they also do collaborations as well. And in the past, we had students that had collaborated outside of the campus.
Well, they're doing Are they doing the mural for La Casa? Is the art club?
It's not the art club. No, we because we were not doing it during the during the 6 weeks they don't meet. Our club is not supposed to meet. We meet like not officially, just for how's everybody doing. The interns that work with us at the gallery, and a couple of alumni actually working on the mural for La Casa, which we started last night, and I'm super excited. So. After many revisions, it's
Well, we'll see that soon enough.
Yes. Yes.
We gotta go. So, anybody you want to thank, or anything you want to say before I take over?
No, thank you for this platform, Hugo, and for inviting us. Thank you, Chris, so much for being moderator. And anything you want to add, Chris?
Well, actually, this was really fun. I'm out of my shell, and this was fun.
Well, we'll do it again when we get, as we come up upon the next milestones of activities, including the auction next year. Yeah. And I want to just thank the two of you for being on the show, and I also want to apologize if I violated any FCC regulations. I did it unwittingly. But anyhow, so.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So the show is What's Going On. I was your host, Hugo Fernandez, here on LaGuardia Web Radio. And our guests today were Professor Ariane Fernandez and College Lab Technician Christine Eng of the Humanities Fine Arts Program. And we were discussing fine art students and their recent participation in the Faculty Council fundraiser last December during closing sessions. As I mentioned earlier, I want to dedicate the show to my family's longtime friend, Maria del Carmen Alonso La Gallega, and we'll go out as we came in with the Buena Vista Social Club, Ibrahim Ferrer's Los Gardenias. Take it away, Chris.